The dependent clause comes in when we add dependent clause words, which are known as subordinating conjunctions. So, for example, if I were to add the word when, which is a subordinating conjunction, I've just changed the dynamic of this sentence so that it can't stand alone. Now, if I read when I parked the car, I'd want to know, well, what happened?
0.05 x equals x, and then don't forget the 315.
So that you can see, yes, it did not make it around the track.
So whenever you're moving by half steps, you're playing one key at a time, not skipping, moving directly next door. If I play a series of half steps.
Okay. So when you're teaching this concept to students, is there anything in particular that trips them up when you're explaining it?
You know, I have to say the one thing that trips a lot of students up is the idea of opportunities, because
along the way that if you can control, then you can just keep going. So that's what the Europeans tried to do.
Some psychologists take a more holistic approach. Eco-psychology focuses on our interdependence and interbeing with the rest of the natural world, and how this influences people's identity, their sense of being connected to something larger than themselves, and the pain they may feel about issues such as species extinction.
Everything you had was produced by this racist culture. This situation is analogous to the position that many people of color find themselves within in the United States educational system.
Now, reading this passage as a writer and paying attention to how it is written, here are some things we might notice. McKibben uses first person. This passage has 2 shorter sentences, bracketing 2 longer sentences. Certain words are repeated, and the second time they are used,
the word meter might make you think of a unit of measurement only sprinters care about. But in poetry, the idea of meter helps us hear the ways English marks out a beat when spoken aloud.
They all seem to have in common. And it looks something like this. You're going to have to make a little bit of a decision here. You know, you think you might have to make a decision, but you might not.
Stepping forward with the left foot, weight shifting onto that, and the arms come past each other. So the right arm is down by the hip, left arm is...
Hi, I'm Noreen Brown, your instructor for this online class. A little bit about me. I have an MBA, Information Systems and Accounting from the Graduate School of...
Time will begin when I say, don your turnouts. Ready, set, don your turnouts. Don your hood. Step into the boots.
Clearly,
I like it.
You love the dazzle of that.
I like the dazzle, but I like the fact that this fans out. And having just recently seen a wild turkey fan himself out like some kind of card shark or something. Like that.
Practicing shosugiban, which is a traditional Japanese preservation technique for wood. And we're going to be using this wood for the siding of our...
Surgeons and I are in charge of the sterile field and keeping things sterile. The sterile field is pretty much everything that is blue. Everything is the sterile field.
Some kids who struggle maybe on a regular basis at school need some special one-on-one during the day, and they need check-in and check-out hourly or every couple hours. And at that checkpoint, there's checking to see if they're following our 3 schools.
Just getting the mud off the hock is a muscle memory that when you don't have it, you drop your plaster and you drop your plaster and you drop your plaster.
But I've kept riding my bike as an adult, and so I ride to work every day. And I enjoy riding my bike. I enjoy being out in the fresh air, and I enjoy not spending money on gas. This is my very